let's go to Phantasm, 1979. We should have done this a while ago. Um, Summary for this: a teenage boy and his friends face off against a mysterious grave robber known as the Tall Man, who keeps a lethal arsenal of terrible weapons with him. Oh, that's kind of weird. Uh,
That
written, and
does not sell it.
no, written and directed by Don Coscarelli, who has done a lot of shit: Beastmaster, Bubba Hotep, John Dies at the End, of course, all the Phantasm movies. Um, any
Except the
details?
last one.
He was he directed the last one,
Produced.
didn't he?
Nah, he didn't direct the last one.
Oh, I thought he wrote
David
and
Hartman
directed it.
directed it.
He wrote it, right?
I don't remember.
Ravager?
I think he wrote it. I was looking
I know
at
he
all
produced.
these. I was looking at all these. Do you have any details, Jason?
I do. Tagline: if you're looking for horror that's got balls, it's found you.
What?
Distributed by F.
That's not on tone. That's not the right tone.
That's what I got. Oh, where are we at? All right, distributed by Avco Embassy Pictures, and it's got a few Blu-ray releases. They got different sets everywhere. I have the the Well-Go remastered Blu-ray. I gotta be honest with you, I wasn't that impressed with it. I can't really remember I got the Anchor Bay DVD, but man, I was expecting it to look a lot better than it does. But
I watched a remastered version on wherever the hell it was free. I can't remember, Tubi. I don't know. It said it was remastered. Yeah, I think the reason this movie holds up so well for me is it's like just the sole vision of Coscarelli, who based it on a dream. And if you can manage to turn a nightmare into a film successfully, you got a really good one on your hands. I think that's what I think David Lynch did with Eraserhead, because that seems like a total nightmare.
Oh yeah.
And I think you're really tapping into the human fear center when you do. Like, this movie is still like creepy and like it gets to you in a weird way. I think it's the combination of science fiction and horror. Yeah, after I found out he based on a dream, I can let a lot of things go. But like things like, was the Tall Man fucking a dude at the beginning of this? Because the Tall Man is essentially the woman in lavender, right? Like, he transforms into her.
Yeah, he's a shapeshifter. Well, in that
they were fucking at the beginning.
So yeah. He's Lord, and he was gonna fuck Jody too.
Yeah. It's just, usually you would think he would kill him before getting to the fucking part, but I don't know. Well, I don't know what Tall Man's into.
Kill him before you have sex with him?
I mean, yeah.
All right, whatever.
You flustered him.
It blows my mind that this mausoleum interior is all just plywood on a soundstage. I thought this shit was a real mausoleum. The outside, the exterior shots are an actual mansion or something. They've used it in So I Married an Axe Murderer and a couple other movies. But the interior was just all made with plywood, and it fucking works, man. That's engineering right there.
I found this thing while searching looking at the trivia on IMDb, that I don't know if Aaron saw this, but this is honestly probably one of the funniest things I've read on trivia on IMDb. And it's Kenneth Jones was too tired to have his makeup removed, so he drove home in it and then was pulled over by a police officer who was naturally suspicious of him being covered in blood and didn't immediately buy his story of being an actor. So got questioned for possible murder just because he was too lazy to get the makeup removed and almost ended up in jail.
Yeah, I mean, that is a time, that is a process. It takes a while. I can understand that. Boy, I'll tell you what, if you like organs, this is the soundtrack for you. There are organs all over this soundtrack. It's a lot of organs.
Mhm.
I thought the fortune teller looked like Ozzy when the girl wheels. I was like, that's hilarious because I just watched that. I thought it reminded me of Ozzy because my kids just watched that Trolls World Tour. And Ozzy comes up. Ozzy's character is wheeled up, and I thought about. I was like, that shit's hilarious. There's a part where Jody is taking a little bike ride, and it looked so out of place, man. Based on the car this guy drives, you would thought he would never be caught dead in his leather jacket riding around town on a little Schwinn bicycle with the curved handles. Like a Huffy or a Mongoose with something like that with pegs. So I wanted to understand a little bit more about what's going on because I've watched this movie a bunch of times, never really understood what the fuck is going on.
Same, and here, I'm just going to throw this out here, and I kind of hate to say it, but I've watched it several times, so there's some flaws with the writing. There's some issues with the writing, and now that I never heard it was based on a dream, so the way stuff is just sporadic, like it. Kind of makes more sense now that he was just trying to put a dream on paper.
There's that, but there's also like sort of a Lucas type world that he's built. Because there's a wikia about this that I went on to, and this is some shit. I'm gonna say some shit right now that is gonna make you go, I didn't need to know that. That doesn't make it better. That doesn't clear anything up. It just makes things weirder for me. It says the tall man's name is Jebediah Morningside. I thought this motherfucker was an alien the whole time. Now he still might be. But it says he was a mild-mannered mortician until he became fascinated with the connection between our world and the world of the dead. He constructed a machine that allowed him to travel through space and time, which is those tuning fork things.
Yeah.
And after traveling to a destination unknown, I'm assuming that red planet or whatever it is, he returned to our world with abilities such as telekinesis, the ability to shapeshift, and superhuman strength.
So he's not. I thought he was an alien too.
Now he might be like possessed by an alien or body swapped with an alien or something, but those little dwarf dudes, the little Jawas, evidently those things are called lurkers. And according to this Phantasm Wikipedia page, these guys are the corpses. Like he takes that one dude's corpse, he crushes them down to the size of a dwarf, removes their brains, their smaller brains, before reanimating them, and then he uses those brains to power and control the spheres. That's what this thing says. Does that make it better for you than not knowing?
No, dude, listen. This I'm a fan. PHAN. I'm huge. I love Phantasm. This is my second favorite movie. They explain more or less everything through the movies.
Right.
3 is where the lurkers come from. That's when they give them an actual name. 4, you see the origin. Because there's this whole plot. Like,
does it show him make the spheres and put the brains in them at some point?
In 3.
See, I thought this. I mean, at least it's explained in the films because I've never seen anything other than this in Ravager.
Really?
So.
Oh my God.
So. Have you seen it? Have you seen them, Jason?
1 through 3 and Ravager.
Okay.
Oh my God!
I don't know why.
Now,
how we review Ravager?
I don't know. It was just new. It was new at the time. No, it was a poll. It was a poll. Like it was on the poll because it was just a new movie we tossed.
Yeah, shit.
Or no, you picked it. That's what it was.
I didn't pick.
You said I want to do a Phantasm movie, and we just that was new.
Take that and rewind it back.
We are up in the ante this time. We are doing a couple extra movies that you guys in our group
voted for.
Teeth and Phantasm Ravager.
What gets me is who doesn't want to watch a movie called Chernobyl Diaries? Like the only reason I didn't.
Well, I thought Babadook or whatever was going to beat out Phantasm. I was like, are you kidding me? You guys are.
Yeah. I was gonna.
You guys want to watch? I mean, they probably don't watch watch it with us, but I'm like, I want to watch a Phantasm movie.
I swear that had to be it.
I don't believe it.
Because I don't know. Regardless.
Yeah, the first three I've seen.
But evidently there's some other, there's lurkers, and then there's, what's the other thing, John? There's
how many movies are there?
There's 5.
Yeah.
Ravager's the last one. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's these gravers. They're the
that's
dudes
what they're
that
called.
Wear gas masks and get the bodies.
Okay.
You first see them in part 2.
Well, I'm looking forward to all this stuff because I thought I was on some fucking fan Wikipedia page where they were making up their own bullshit because some of that stuff didn't.
I thought you were too.
No, this is what they talk about in the movie.
Well, I'm looking forward to figuring out,
seeing
all this happen.
Reading some like you said, some little like person trying to come up with the whole thing, and I'm like,
this whole time,
why are they?
This whole time, I don't know what I thought was happening, at all. I don't know. I just liked it. It always was like, what the fuck is happening? What is this? This is weird. And it felt like a bad dream, you know? That's why it was so effective.
Yeah, I probably watched Phantasm probably 3 times before I went on to 2 and 3. And I never understood. I still don't. I watched 2 and 3 once.
I may have to sit down with John and watch these because
I got books.
I
got a couple books.
Then we can have conversations for hours because I need my stuff dumbed down because
I'm sure we're covering them.
The only thing that prepared me for what I found out about this movie or about rewatching this movie was watching Ravager. I was very aware of the time space fuckery that they do in this series, so the end wasn't really like, it made more sense after watching Ravager, you know what I'm saying? Like I was, because before that was, so that movie kind of cleared that up for me. I laughed in this shit because either Bill Thornbury really liked Rolling Stones or Coscarelli was on set like, so Jody enters the garage. Wait a minute. Bill, the script says that he's wearing a Rolling Stones t-shirt in this scene. Yeah, I know I had you wear one earlier, but this is a different one. And Jody's like a really big Rolling Stones dude. Go put the shirt on. Because like, why is there so much? There's so much. It seems like it was a Rolling Stone push on this movie.
I have an answer for that.
Okay.
In the like the Phantasm lore, he was a roadie for them.
Okay.
Because remember in the one flashback, that dude Mike's under the car fixing it because apparently Jody doesn't know how to fix his own car. I think because it's like I think it's one of these. Yeah, it's like I think it's one of these headers in here, and if you look at Jody, he shrugs like and like I don't fucking know. It's my muscle car. I don't know nothing. But the guy is like when he's talking about, I hear you've been out on the road. And until I read it, I always thought like he was, in a band, because he plays his own shit.
Yeah, that song, they play is his own. That is, he wrote that song.
Yeah,
he does music now. He's like a music teacher or something. Well, John, I'm glad you got all this insight because shit. I don't remember Tall Man having yellow blood, which was cool. Don't know how he got his fingers back, but that's the only thing I had.
Tall Man.
yeah. I don't ask too many questions. It's a dream, But that part did bother me when she grabs the finger. She like puts it in a little box, and then it turns into the dumbest looking thing I've ever seen. That thing disappointed.
Oh, that fly.
Whatever that is, get rid of that. Cut that out. Cut it out. It looks like it came from Spencer's Gifts. Anyways. Doug Rinaldi had posted in the group that he thought that Jody looked like Han Solo played by Paul Rudd. It's kind of pinpoint on because there was like several real Han Solo shooting down Jawas vibes in the like really kind of Star Wars.
He shot one down.
The spheres themselves look great in this movie. And I'm comparing this to Ravager. that shit looked bunk. Whatever that was, that CGI in that, I don't know. It looks bad.
Check it out. The way that the spheres looked when you saw it, and it was like really dark and nice and smooth, right?
Yeah.
The sphere itself. So it used to be a picture of a sphere on a moving background, and then the blades animated out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so when J.J. Abrams, he turned out to be a huge fan. He, as a favor to Coscarelli, he Bad Robot remastered this in 4K and fixed that scene.
Ah, okay.
I actually went to the premiere down in there's an indie theater in Dormont, just right by Pittsburgh. I saw the Phantasm 4K premiere there, which was fucking badass. It was super badass.
Pretty sure I just seen a ghost in my house.
Oh, that's sweet.
Oh,
just saying.
Or is it all just an elaborate hoax?
My TV's right behind my phone and it's off, so the screen's black.
Mm.
And I'm looking at my phone and it looks like a black mass moved across. I can see the reflection in my TV.
Dude, put a Snapchat filter on. Put a Snapchat filter on. If it goes onto that thing, you know you're fucked.
Pull up Randonautica. Anyways, really bizarre way to dispose of the tall man in this movie. Strange mine shaft plan out of nowhere. Seemed like they would have went through a few other things before dragging him to a different location.
They did. It's on the deleted scenes. They have a way of tying in that cold scene. It was a deleted ending where it's Jody and Mike fighting them. They hit him with a fire extinguisher. And his head explodes. Okay, is he showing us the ghost?
I guess. I'm going to see if I can pull it up here. He's getting freaked out in his house. Is everybody asleep, Jason?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good time for stuff to happen.
It's happening.
Yep. I think this is basically a pretty perfect science fiction horror movie.
Have you said your score yet?
I get 9 out of 10. I'm not going
to
get rid of that fly. I'll give it a 10. Can we get that cut?
I didn't think you'd have a problem with that.
Honestly, Bubba Hotep is one of the only movies where they do an insect thing like that, and I'm like, even what's the one that has the spiders? City of the Living Dead, is that what it is, or is it?
The Beyond.
The Beyond, the spiders in that. Yeah. Even that, and that's well done for that. Really well done for that time period. But they could have got rid of those fake spiders. I mean, they
didn't need them. They had like 2 or 3 real ones. Like that's enough. That's enough. That's enough tarantulas.
He needed an army. He wanted an army.
He had to fuck up some eyeballs.
Marching up there.
Yeah. I love that. Everything about that film. Love it.
Yeah, but 9 out of 10.
Right on. I'll go. Again, I never really understood exactly what was going on. I just liked what I was seeing. I don't know why they didn't do just a little bit better job at explaining everything in the first one, though. Like,
they had to put all those scenes of Jody or what's his name?
Reggie?
Not Reggie. Danny?
Mike?
Get some
one of them.
Get some names that I can remember going. Well, they had to have a lot of scenes of him like doing that shit. So,
I don't know. I guess as of right now, I would say the writing suffers a little bit. So maybe I'll change my mind as we go through the franchise, and then I connect everything. But I just don't know why everything more wasn't explained right from the get-go. Like, he must have thought this is going to be a 4-part series if it's going to take part 2 and 3 to explain what happened in 1 or what was going on. But I like the characters. I like the brothers, the tall man, like Reggie, the setting, the mausoleum. Didn't know that was plywood. I assumed it was marble, but it looks good to me. Slashers probably should have took something from this movie and dressed their plywood set up a little bit. What a waste!
It was a paintball arena, man.
Good God. Great music. Love the score. Awesome poster. It's on my wall. Just not a lot happens. It's not a lot of kills. Not much gore. But it does a lot of things right, and just a couple of negatives for me. But I recommend the movie. Give it an 8.
It's really easy to put this on in the background, though. Like, I feel, because that it's so like paced out and atmospheric. I don't know, John, your thoughts?
Yeah. Well, my thoughts is this is my second favorite horror movie of all time. So you know where this is going. This is, I'm gonna gack the hell out of this movie. I love this movie. I remember being a kid. I was like 8, and my parents told me they went to the drive-in to see this movie. And the way my little 8-year-old mind envisioned it was just bonkers. And then I actually saw it, and I'm like, oh, this is nothing like I thought it was. It's better because it makes sense. I didn't see it until I was like 11 or something. My parents had standards, apparently. I loved, as an 11-year-old, boobs right off the bat. Gotta love that. As cockeyed as they were, but well, dude, no shit.
That beginning sex scene didn't seem like they were having very much fun. I don't know.
He was out. Yeah, he was.
And
like
she was
something.
on top of him with her legs straight out. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like what?
The angles didn't match up.
Yeah.
It's a body double, isn't it?
Yeah. Kat Lester, Kat Lester. She's the woman you see.
Yeah.
She was not going to do the topless.
So that's probably why.
Yeah. This is like, obviously number one in the franchise. It's such a great setup for the rest of the films. Now, please understand, none of the other films compare to this one. All right? Like, Part 2 has a bigger budget and all that stuff, but they replaced Mike because that was it was either Reggie or Mike. So,
Mike wins.
to keep. And Coscarelli chose Reggie because it was just like,
why did they have to choose? Why?
Universal was calling the shots.
Well, that's stupid.
Yeah.
It's always
Universal
some shit
was
like
calling
that.
the shots. Yeah. I love the tall man. To me, is the last, even though it's not Universal, it is Universal. I'm sorry, the last great Universal monster. As far as the classics go, his character could have been with Lugosi and Karloff and Cheney Jr. and all them. Like, I felt like he was on par with them because Angus Scrimm had some chops.
Now it gets mighty lonesome on the prairie. Letters from the folks back home are few. When I get to missing my little gal Mary, kisses me a prairie dog or two.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was a writer most of his life, but he did acting. He even did. It's an extra on the Scream Factory Part 2 edition.
I've seen an interview, and he's very.
Well, he plays Abraham Lincoln in like an Encyclopedia Britannica.
I could see that.
Film strip, you know what I'm talking about? I remember that because I remember seeing it in school. They showed it to us.
A house divided against itself cannot stand. I believe this government cannot endure permanently, half slave and half free. My good friend Judge Douglas thinks I'm a dangerous man. He gives you his great principle of popular sovereignty. But my friends, slavery is wrong. And Douglas cannot say he'd as soon see a wrong voted up as voted down. I combat Douglas's great principle. I combat it as having a tendency to dehumanize a Negro, to take away from him the right of ever striving to be a man.
It was nuts seeing it again. I know I hadn't seen it since I was like 16. It was crazy.
I just picture him dressed up like that, staring directly at the camera and being like, "Draw."
No, this dude, he had a range. He was really good. Yeah. He's a good actor. He's more than just boy. He's a really good actor. The characters were all great. I really, really like the bond that Jody and Mike have. Jody was super cool. Like, here's this guy that presumably came off the road. He stopped touring, or maybe the tour was over, or something. And he's taking care of his brother because his parents died. Like, there's people that wouldn't do that. You know? I thought that was really cool of him. And he never really gives Mike any kind of shit, except when he's dragging him up to his room to keep him safe. And I mean, the fucking graveyard scene where Mike's watching them, and they both do the wow. That's hilarious. I love that. And then he just flies right by him, screaming his face off. And then Jody's like, "What the heck?"
It's my
with panties hanging out of his mouth. Like, that was super funny. The whole Phantasm mythology thing is super fun for me. Because I remember, after seeing 2, I remember anticipating 3. Not anticipating, but being shocked or surprised. It's like, holy shit, there's a 3? Because I didn't even know there was a 2 for a long time. Until, how I found out there was a 2? Them shiny stickers. They used to be able to get out of the quarter machine.
Oh, yeah,
them prism-y stickers.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, wait a minute, there's a part 2? That's crazy. But yeah, this movie it's solid. That ending, that's one of my favorite endings of all time. I love it. That very end where he tells a story, and spoiler alert,
it's all right. It's from '79.
When not so much that the tall man showed up, but the fact that those hands came through the mirror and pulled him back through it into like pure darkness. That was crazy. That was the scariest closet I ever saw in my life. Yeah, this is a 10, and there's so much like a whole bunch of deleted scenes. Like, there's 2 different ways that they tried to kill the tall man, and one of them is actually reused in part 4 as like this weird flashback. I think I think we're gonna have to do the whole series here.
I want to watch them.
Like, I've actually like studied these movies. I'm such a nerd.
Hilarious.
I'm a Phantasm nerd. I love these films.
Listening to it talk about it it's making me want to go through all of them, and seeing how excited you are makes me want to
man,
maybe
like,
take a step back and look at it.
I want to watch them with him. Like, explaining it to me while I watch these movies,
having hot cocos and stuff. Did you guys think it was fun? I forgot to mention this. There's a scene at the end where it's Reggie and Mike, and they're in front of a fireplace. It was so fucking weird, man. It was like, why don't we go? We'll just go someplace, dude. We'll just
go on the road.
Let's go. Me and you. And they're in front of a fireplace. It was very romantic. Jake, did you have any thoughts?
Don't forget, I'm sorry. Don't forget, Jody had just died a week ago.
Yeah.
At that moment. Like, Jody died in a car wreck.
Right.
So Mike's pretty fucked up right now. His only family.
Now in Ravager, now this is the part I'm assuming that all these characters come back to life, they die again, they go through like timelines.
There's so much that happens.
Yeah. Do they show In the other movies that I haven't seen, do they show the parents being killed by Tall Man?
No.
Oh, they don't discuss why
There
that
is
happened.
a deleted scene. There is a deleted scene of him as a kid driving with them to Jody's funeral, and then they died like right after that. In in the real world, dude, Phantasm deals with like multiple dimensions, like time. It's super crazy, and it can be. What I love about it so much, the series, is it can be interpreted in so many different ways. Like it, because it's so. I don't know. It's like it's
abstract,
ambiguous. Yeah.
Jake, did you have any thoughts on this?
No, I mean, there's.
You going to sleep?
I've been up since 4 a.m.
Off screen. I was like,
I was leaning back. Sorry, I've been up since 4 a.m. So I don't think I can really make any comments until after me and John watch these, because it's going to change my entire world with these things. Because like I said, I barely understood. Like as you know, a movie, it's cool. Like it's been said, but I didn't realize that there's like an entire universe of information that I'm missing with this. That it's kind of hard to judge it when you don't have half the info.
Do they show?
He had to.
I just want to ask John constant questions about it. Like,
go for it.
Do they show? Do they show him crushing the people? Like,
no,
or whatever. Like,
so check this out. The closest thing you get to see to that is in Ravager, when I think you see one of them in the machine and its eyes open. But then in part 3, when they show him put the brain in the drone. You see, one of the dwarfs, like, hooked up to all these needles, but it's like a really static puppet.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's not really, the head moves a little bit because you see him pull the brain out.
Okay.
And put it in the ball.
Well, I look forward to checking those out.
I don't remember that. I don't remember that at all.
The only thing I remember about Ravager was some quote from Reggie. I can't remember what it was, though. So I don't remember it. Anyways,
the only thing I remember is something I don't remember.
I made a meme of it, whatever it was. It was I can't remember.
I know Ravager. I didn't enjoy Ravager very much. John, where is it at compared to at least 1 through 3?
Where's Ravager's the lowest? I hated it.
Even you liked it.
No, I didn't. I did not care for it. I get what they were trying to do with it and stuff, which I'm not. I know you guys saw it, but I don't want to spoil it in case anyone hasn't seen it.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
But
you can't spoil that.
Yeah, I mean, it just felt below all the others as far as quality goes, and it had a low budget and all that stuff, but I think. Wasn't much lower than 4, which only had I feel like just over $1 million in 1999, I believe.
Yeah, another question.
I could be wrong though.
Now, this is one that I asked when we watched Ravager. Reggie on his back through a lot of that movie has a samurai sword.
Nope.
He's never had that before. He doesn't use it in that movie. He just has it. And I'm like, why the fuck would he have that if he never uses it? But
see, there's a whole thing with Ravager that it was started off as a web series called Reggie Tales, like Veggie Tales.
Okay.
It was gonna be a web series like when YouTube was new, I believe, is when they were talking about it. Real early 2000s. So it was just going to be short adventures because they didn't have any. That's why Ravager seemed so disjointed. It's because a lot of it is from the web series.
Okay.
That never got made, and they had a very limited budget to complete what they had. Especially because Angus Scrimm died right after he was done filming this.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I was trying to find my fucking meme. God, it's impossible to find that shit. Anyways, Reggie says something real funny in Ravager. Check it out. Let's go to
something to do with a horse.
Yeah, I can't remember what it
like,
is.
buddy, your horse is dead or something like that.
Something like that. We got a serious problem with your horse or whatever it is. I don't know.